Did you know that motivation isn't just a fleeting feeling, but a fascinating blend of psychology, biology, and personal drive? Yeah, it's true. Picture this. Every day, millions of neurons in your brain are firing away, orchestrating the intricate dance of motivation. But here's the thing, despite its complexity, staying motivated can sometimes feel like navigating through a dense fog in search of a guiding light. Sounds familiar? Well, fear not, because in this video, we're unraveling the mysteries of motivation. From understanding why we lose steam to equipping you with actionable strategies to keep that fire burning bright. Consider this your ultimate guide to mastering motivation and unleashing your full potential. So get ready to embark on a journey of discovery, because by the end of this ride, you'll be armed with the tools to conquer any challenge that comes your way. Let's dive in and crack the code of motivation together. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Nidhi. I'm a corporate leader turned hypnotherapist and life coach. In my channel, I talk about everything related to personal and professional growth using both your conscious and subconscious mind to help you get to your next level. Okay, so let's not waste any time and get straight into why we may feel motivated or otherwise, and what can we do to crack the motivation code. Here are 6 points. Number 1, locus of control. Locus of control refers to an individual's perception about the underlying main causes of events in his or her life. Or more simply, do you believe that your destiny is controlled by yourself or by external forces? In a classic study by psychologist Julianne Rotter in 1950s, researchers sought to understand how individuals perceive the control they have over their lives. They conducted experiments to measure participants' locus of control, which basically refers to whether they believe they have control over their destinies or if external forces dictate their outcome. So how did they do it? Well, participants were presented with scenarios where they faced challenges or obstacles. The responses were then analyzed to determine whether they attributed the outcome to their own action, which is internal locus of control, or to external factors like luck or fate. So what did they find? The study revealed that individuals with an internal locus of control were more likely to be motivated and persistent in the face of difficulties. They believed that they had the power to shape their destinies through their actions and choices. On the other hand, those with an external locus of control, they tended to feel powerless and were less motivated to take action, as they believed their outcomes were determined by luck or external circumstances beyond their control. So what does this all mean for us? Understanding our locus of control can be a game changer when it comes to mastering motivation. By recognizing that we have the power to influence our outcomes, we can adopt a proactive mindset, set meaningful goals, and take action with confidence. So instead of feeling defeated by setbacks, we can see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Number 2, intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. All right, let's talk about a fundamental concept in motivation. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. So here's the scoop. Intrinsic motivation comes from within, driven by your own personal desires and interests. It's like that fire burning deep inside you, pushing you to pursue something because it brings you joy, fulfillment, or a sense of accomplishment. On the flip side, we've got extrinsic motivation. This one's all about external rewards or pressures like bonuses, praise, or even fear of punishment. It's like dangling a carrot in front of a horse, urging it forward with the promise of a tasty treat. Now here's where it gets interesting. While both types of motivation can get you moving, they operate on different wavelengths. You see, intrinsic motivation is like rocket fuel. It propels you forward with passion and purpose. You're not doing something because you have to. You're doing it because you want to. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is more like a temporary boost. Sure, it might get you off the couch in the short term, but it lacks the staying power of intrinsic motivation. Once the carrot's gone, so is your drive. So which one of the two is better? Well, that depends on who you ask. Some people thrive on external rewards. They need that gold star or paycheck to keep them going. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But for others, intrinsic motivation is where it's at. They're driven by their own passions and values, marching to the beat of their own drum. But here's the thing, while extrinsic motivation might get you through the door, it's intrinsic motivation that'll keep you there. It's like the difference between running a sprint and running a marathon. Sure, you might sprint to the finish line for that shiny medal, but it's the love of running that'll keep you lacing up your shoes day after day. So whether you're chasing external rewards or following your inner compass, remember this, motivation is personal. Find what lights your fire and run with it. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Number 3, don't work on goals. In the realm of motivation, the traditional approach of setting goals often falls short in sustaining long-term commitment. Instead, a powerful alternative lies in shifting focus towards developing a new identity. Picture this, you want to lose weight, so you set a target. Sounds good, right? But here's the catch, relying solely on hitting that number on the scale often leads to short-lived motivation. So what's the alternative? Think of it like this. Rather than obsessing over a goal, why not become the kind of person who naturally achieves it? That's where identity-based motivation kicks in. So here's the deal. When you shift your mindset from, I want to lose weight, to I'm someone who has a healthy relationship with food. Now, everything changes. It's not just about counting calories or hitting the gym anymore. It's about embodying a lifestyle that aligns with your values and goals. Imagine waking up and effortlessly making choices that nourish your body and mind. That's the power of embracing a new identity. It's not about forcing yourself to stick to a plan. It's about becoming the person you want to be. And here's the best part. The shift isn't temporary. It's about creating lasting change. By embracing your new identity, healthy habits become second nature. It's not about willpower. It's about living authentically. So forget about just setting goals. It's time to step into your power and become the person you've always wanted to be. Trust me, the journey is worth it. Next one, harnessing the power of self-talk. All right, here's a fascinating insight into how our mind works. Our subconscious doesn't discriminate between truth and fiction. Yeah, you heard that right. So, if you're struggling to muster up motivation for something, here's a little trick. Tell yourself you actually enjoy it, even if that's not entirely true yet. Let me break it down for you. Your subconscious is like a sponge, soaking up every word you feed it. So when you repeatedly affirm that you love doing something, even if you're not fully convinced at first, your mind starts to believe it. It's like planting a seed in fertile soil. It may start small, but with time and nurturing, it blossoms into something real. Let's say you've got a task you've been dreading. Maybe it's a boring report or a tedious workout. Now, instead of approaching it with dread, try flipping the script. Convince yourself that you're actually excited to tackle it. It might feel weird at first, like trying on a pair of shoes that don't quite fit. But trust me, as you keep repeating that mantra, something remarkable happens. Your brain starts to rewire itself. Suddenly, the task doesn't seem so daunting anymore. You'll find yourself diving in with newfound enthusiasm, surprising even yourself. And before you know it, what was once a chore becomes something you genuinely look forward to. Take my friend Claire, for example. She used to dread going to the gym. Every time she laced up her Snickers, she'd grumble and groan. But then she tried this little mind trick. Instead of focusing on the pain and sweat, she started telling herself how much she loved that feeling of strength coursing through her body. And you know what? Slowly but surely, her attitude shifted. Now she's the first one to hit the gym with a smile on her face and a skip in her step. So the next time you find yourself lacking motivation, remember, your mind is a powerful tool. Use it to your advantage. Tell yourself you love what you're doing and watch as your subconscious works its magic. Who knows? You might just surprise yourself. Next one, victim versus owner mindset. Okay, let's talk about the victim mindset versus the owner mindset. Picture this, if you constantly perceive life as something that happens to you, as if you're merely a spectator in your own story, it's bound to dampen your motivation. We've already discussed the locus of control theory, which touches on a similar theme. But here's where it gets really interesting. The owner mindset. Instead of resigning yourself to the role of a victim, why not take charge of your own narrative? When you embrace ownership of your circumstances, it's like flipping the script. Suddenly, you're not just a passive observer. You're an active participant in shaping your reality. And that is a game changer. Think of it like this. When you believe you have the power to influence outcomes, you're far more likely to feel motivated to take action. It's like discovering a hidden superhero cape in your closet. You feel invincible. So the question is, how do you cultivate this owner mindset? It boils down to shifting your perspective. Instead of fixating on what's beyond your control, focus on what you can do to make a difference. Take ownership of your choices, your actions, your reactions. Because when you realize the agency you hold in shaping your destiny, motivation becomes a second nature. Let's take an example of someone called Dave. He used to grumble endlessly about his job, blaming external factors for his discontent. But then he had an epiphany. He recognized that he had the power to alter his circumstances, that he wasn't merely a victim of fate. So he took the reins of his career, actively seeking opportunities for growth and advocating for himself at work. The result? His motivation soared. Suddenly he approached challenges with gusto, knowing he wielded to the power, knowing he had the power to effect change. In essence, whether you adopt a victim mindset or an owner mindset, it's entirely within your control. But remember, the mindset you embrace can significantly impact your level of motivation. Next point, taking action quickly. Delving into the neuroscience of decision making, studies reveal that our brains are wired to assess situations quickly and generate responses. When we hesitate or overthink, we activate brain's regions associated with doubt and hesitation, hindering our motivation. However, taking swift action taps into the regions linked with motivation and goal pursuit, such as the prefrontal cortex. So, for instance, imagine you're considering starting a new fitness routine. If you deliberate too long, doubts may creep in, making it harder to take that first step. But if you act decisively, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing the behavior and increasing your motivation to stick with the routine. Moreover, in high-pressure situations like emergency responses, quick decisions activates the body's fight or flight response, enhancing focus and determination. By understanding the neuroscience behind quick action, we can harness its power to bypass mental barriers and propel ourselves towards our goals, maintaining motivation along the way. And there you have it, a journey through the intricate landscape of motivation. We've delved into the inner workings of the human mind, explored the dynamics of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and uncovered the transformative power of mindset. But remember, mastering motivation isn't just about understanding its complexities, it's about taking action. So as you step out into the world armed with these insights, don't wait for motivation to find you. Instead, seize the reins and make things happen. You've already taken the first step by seeking out this knowledge. Now it's your time to put it into practice. Thanks for joining me in this video. I hope you like it. If you did, please like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care.